Hello, everybody. This is Moveforward144. Today we're going to talk about cycles. And so cycles are everywhere. You can look at things that way, that you're stuck in a cycle, you're repeating a cycle, it seems like deja vu, Anyway, people, have addictions, so they have cycles where they are sober and then they're back on. That's a cycle. People have relationships, many relationships where they self-sabotage them, and that's a cycle. So they like, the beginning part, getting everything rolling and all the excitement, and then when it gets boring, they're out of there. I had a bunch of cycles. When I was a kid, I was a military brat, so we moved every 2 years, and it was a constant cycle. Beginning a new school, getting in, making new friends, getting involved in all that with sports and stuff like that, and my sister hated it. It was just traumatic for her, where I was kind of the opposite. I was like, yeah, let's get the hell out of here and start a new cycle. Anyway, so that was how I dealt with it. But now, I did get married at 23 and got a house, and I have not, I'm still with the same, my wife, and I'm living in the same house. So that's one big cycle. And but within the marriage, you have these little cycles where that you repeat. Like when we were younger, we would fight all the time, and then make up in bed. That was a cycle, and it was repeated for many years. So we don't do it anymore. But I mean, we just never worked it out. Anyway, and that those are typical cycles. And then you have the spiritual cycles are very similar. They get a little more complicated. They coincide with the moon and the stars and all that stuff. And the moon is another cycle that every month, that affects things. So anyway, spiritually, you don't want to repeat those cycles too. You want to kind of learn and move forward spiritually, so that you can keep ascending. And a lot of that has to do with those other cycles as well, that I talked about. But what you want to do is recognize when you're stuck in a cycle, and I had, like I said, I was a consultant, and my jobs would 6 months to a year contract that I would take, and I would go in and fix things and leave. And I did that for many years, and I started, trying to get a full-time corporate job and stay, and those would last maybe 2 or 3 years, and then I just had to get out. and I'd go back to contracting. But so I'm not saying that was a great life, but it was interesting and exciting sometimes. And we got to see a lot of the country. My wife would stay with me in these different places, and so it was like traveling and enjoying where I was working, and I even got to go overseas and stuff like that. But but you're right, I never fixed that one. I never really figured out why I had a problem taking a regular job. And a lot of it had to do with how I grew up. I didn't have to stay and deal with all the minutia of making strong relationships and so on and so forth. So it served me well for doing the project stuff, but because I was really good at coming in and getting to know everybody and starting and going and doing and fixing things, but really connecting with people and long-term connections. Even though that's what I had with my wife and my kids, I didn't really do that at work. I mean, I had a job. I had a job early on where I worked for 5 years. That was the longest, and I had to get out of there. Anyway, so cycles are important. You gotta recognize them and know that you're repeating one, and try to figure out. And that's a spiritual thing too. You got to figure that stuff out. That's part of your lessons on earth here. And the big spiritual cycles sometimes are like 10 years, and they close out. And I think I'm at the end of one now, and I think things are going to happen for me, but we will see. So I'm aware of it, and I feel it coming, but I just don't know how it's going to roll out. So, and that's at my age. I mean, so I'm looking forward to bigger and better things, which, it's exciting. So, and it has to do with spirituality. So I'm here on earth. I'm on a path, and I'm here to do. I survived all this time and have learned and gotten stronger from all the adversity, and I'm here right now, standing in my power and on a path and ready to serve the divine, to do maybe this is part of it, but that's what I'm doing here. I know that, and if you know that you're on a path, divine path, and you've pretty much given yourself over to the divine, you've surrendered, you're going to get ready. Buckle up. It's coming. And when it comes, man, it's coming fast, and everything changes. So that's all I want to say.